guys, how you all doing today? So welcome back for another video on the channel. Now once again we're on my interior design series, and I just want to say this week has kind of been all over the place with uploads. I'm really sorry about that. I haven't kept to my schedule, but I promise next week onwards we'll be back on track with my schedule. So that's Wednesday, that's Friday, and that's Sunday, all at 8 PM GMT. So stay tuned, there's going to be way more consistent videos starting from next week onwards again. So you guys can look forward to that. But on the interior design series, we've done an office, we've done a kitchen, you know, we've done a range of things. And today what we're doing is we're doing a living room. So how to build the perfect, world edit free, believe it or not, living room in Minecraft. Now, none of this would be possible without Shiv. Shiv pretty much did the majority of this. The man like took off pulling out the science out of his ass like I've never seen before. And this room just looks absolutely beautiful. So share some love for Shiv in the comment section. Couldn't have made such a gorgeous living room without him. The man is incredibly talented. So let's get over to our plot. So what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to make a 15 by 15 square. As you can see, that's what we have right here. Now the side walls are going to feature red sand. The back wall is going to feature light grey wall. Very important to note, this is best in the BCS pack. There will be a link down below in the description, so you know, go check that out, go download it, go have fun with it, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get out some per block, or if you guys are in another resource pack, some black wool, some black stained clay, you know, whatever works, whatever floats your boat. So just experiment with that. Try it out. You know, everyone has different texture packs. If you're on console, say, or you're on Pocket Edition, and you know, not everything works for everyone. So I respect that, and I've come up with some kind of like, you know, different variations, I guess I could say, for you guys to use. So we have a gap between the sort of middle mat, and it's 2 on this side, it's 3 on the sides, it's 3 on the back, and 3 on this side, as you can see. So what that means is you're going to have a space of 2 here, you're going to have a space of 3 here, and also a space of 3 here, here, and let's just come to the back. I think the back actually features, yeah, like a little slidable cool sort of feature there. So this would be, you know, if you had like a big kind of sliding glass wall or say something like that, it could just slide along here. It's a really simple, nice design. Of course, if you guys are going to put this into your house, you can knock through one of these walls, maybe take out one of these cool art like wall pieces and have like an entrance to a different room. So it's very easily adaptable, so you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. The room flows and works really well. So what we're going to be doing now is just putting in this material here. This is my nether brick. If you guys are on, say, Flows HD, because you can't get my pack, if you're limited, say, I'd say something like oak planks would work perfectly. I mean, this is actually a texture which my admin came up with. He came up with the idea for it, and my developer Yugi, he actually made it on Photoshop. So it's like an edited version of the wood we already have, but it's supposed to look kind of worn and kind of like weathered, which just gives it this really cool sort of like look. And people seem to love this texture on like on the town server especially. Like, this has become people's favorite wood texture. So it looks like, you know, very good job that we included this, because the stuff that you guys are going to see in my upcoming videos with this block being used is absolutely incredible. Like, I knew this was going to be a cool addition, but seriously, like, the kind of designs and awesome looking builds people have come up with this block, like people have used to, you know, make these new structures, have just absolutely blown me away. So the middle section is going to be made of bedrock. Now, bedrock in BCS pack looks like this. So grey stained clay, you know, something like that could work. Now, sometimes I may forget to, you know, mark out the textures that I've used and what kind of like, I guess, what kind of alternative blocks you guys could use if you are limited. And just think to yourself, you know, when I'm using something like this, you know, what looks similar to this in most packs like oak wood planks, what looks similar to this in most packs like grey stained clay or grey wool. So if I ever do forget to, you know, name the kind of blocks that I have and give alternative textures, just keep that in mind, guys. So we're just gonna fill this guy in just like so. And this is like a kind of cool middle mat feature just to separate it from the main flooring. It just makes it look a tad more interesting. So what we're going to be doing now, guys, is we're going to be getting out some purple slabs, some barrier blocks to get them in single player. Slash, I think it's slash give space your username and then space barrier. That's how you get them if you are in single player. So just keep that in mind. And we have a little bookshelf just below. And of course, this would be for your like CDs and you know, that kind of stuff. So if you have a collection of films, everything's kind of like Netflix now, I guess, but you know, they still have that feature just in case you do have some cool movies that you do choose to enjoy, I guess. We kind of roleplay everything on the server. That's how stuff just turns out so sick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to extend these walls up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in height. So all the walls surrounding you should be 5 in height. And we're going to bring them out. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in. And 2 blocks up, we have this really cool little wall art feature, which I'm going to get into in just a second. Now this is actually made up of the purple pillar block. What Shiv did actually in the pack is he made it look like this kind of grey texture. It looks more kind of like charcoal now. It used to have this very kind of cool purpley looking texture. I mean, no shit, you know the name purple block. But we changed things up and it can now be used a lot more. I mean, a lot of trad builders did used to love it in the pack. But I think it's way more universal now. I mean, grey and black are very kind of usable, you know, colors in most projects. They can work well. And for the back wall, what we did is we just used some light grey wool, as you guys can see. So I'm just going to bring this guy up. Now it's very, very important to note as well, guys, that this project can actually only work in this direction. So say if you had this entire like lounge design and you had flipped it sideways, it wouldn't be able to work unless you had World Edit. And that's because, you know, rails, which we've used within this project, can only be moved into certain directions by using World Edit. So it's very important to note that this build can only work if it's in like this direction or it's in like this direction. So I think it can only work if it's in a north or south kind of facing positions. If it's faced sideways, in other words, it just will not work. Which is a bit of a shame, but I mean, me and Shiv, we try and bring you the coolest stuff and make it World Edit free. Sometimes there's some downsides. So we're just going to do that, and then what you're going to want to do is whip out the wall piece. Like I said, guys, if you know, this is a living room, so it's going to be used probably in, you know, your houses or your apartments or whatever you choose to put this in. These walls can easily be knocked through. These wall art pieces don't have to be here if you guys want to sort of play around and, you know, have it in a slightly different position, sort of like how we showed it. So that's a wall piece right there. Then a really nice other sort of like little addition that we have here are just 2 plants. They just kind of, you know, brighten up a bit, make it look a little bit more interesting. So they are in fact 4 blocks into the project, as you guys can see. So one there. And what we've done is we've used the dark oak leaves and also the spruce leaves just to give it, once again, like a little bit more variation. Makes it look a tad more interesting than just having the same leaf block. And it also, you know, adds a nice little bit of color to the room, makes it look a little bit less kind of like plain and boring. Actually, an interesting feature that I decided to add is I actually added some really modern looking sort of fireplaces. So what I did is I dug 3 down and I got myself out some nether. Now, I'm not totally sure if this is doable. It's not an essential feature. I mean, I guess it might add a tiny bit of light and it's just, you know, a cool tiny little feature to have, I guess. But I put 2 down like that, as you can see. And I would use as the base material, of course, something that the fire can consistently burn on. So that's why netherrack is such a good choice. And then the surrounding blocks you're going to want to have as a material that, you know, will not burn. So bedrock, I guess obsidian, you know, stuff like that, stuff that doesn't burn down. So what I've done is I've just done this. Gonna want to delete these guys as well. And then since my server has a no fire spread on, because of course, you know, you get so many griefers on servers, etc. And, you know, if they have the ability to actually spread fire, they're just going to cause absolute chaos. So we have that off, so I'm going to have to set this. But of course, you know, if you guys are just on a normal single player world, just, you know, light it up with some flint and steel, that should work fine. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tap that. I'm going to tab that. I'm also then going to, actually no, I'm going to have to do this. Worked on the other side, but not on this side. So I'm going to set fire. So once you've done that, what you can do on the other side is you can just do the same thing. Once again, this doesn't have to be done, you know, it's not necessary, but it just adds like, I don't know, it just adds like a cool little detail. The idea was, you know, like, it could be underground sort of heating, but also it actually emits a tiny bit of light as well, which will help, you know, since we don't have a ton of windows in this room. But what we're going to get into now is the TV and how to do that. So let's get straight into things. So this is actually a really cool doable feature. Like I said, the use of the barrier blocks makes this doable. And what you're going to want to do is let's just find out how wide this guy is. So he's the same width as a sort of unit below. You're going to want to crouch, just come above like this, and you can actually put these black jungle doors down, which makes like the sleekest and coolest TV design. Now these heads are actually the Pearly Bum heads. I actually used to know Pearly Bum. He was a player on WoC back when I used to play on there. And you can put 2 of these end rods down here, which once again generate some light, which is nice. Then you can crouch. Oh yeah, you need to do this actually, I forgot about that. You need to put a block down. So this head is actually the Pearly Bum too. That's his head. And you can just put one like that. And then you can do this on the other side. Of course, this is a cool sort of like speaker system for the TV. So that's pretty sick. Bam, just like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just finish off with this cool little table design. So it's really sleek. This is just cyan panes. I'm actually going to, just to make things easier, clear my inventory. So you're going to need some black carpet. You'll also need some barrier blocks, and you'll need some cyan stained glass. Let's just get some of these guys. And this is in fact 2 in and 3 wide, so it's going to be centered. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to put like one of them guys there. So this is 2 in, like I said, and that is a center block. So you're going to want to have 2 of these just like that. That is right, I think, right? Is that right? That's right. Okay, sick stuff. So you're going to want to have 2 of them just like so. Then what you're going to want to do is get out some black carpet. Just crouch while you're doing this and put it across just like so. Now it's essential that this room is designed in the same way that I've showed you, because otherwise it will simply just not work. So what we're going to need to get now is you're going to need to get yourself out some iron bars, some carpet, some trapdoors. You're going to need some barrier blocks, some snow rails, some acacia wood slabs, and that's about it. For the back sofa design, it's actually a little bit different, but I think the only extra thing we're going to need, right, is signs. I think so. So yeah, we're going to take some signs as well. So let's just get into the process of making these guys. So of course they're in line with a table, as you guys can see. You're going to want to put 2 down like so, 2 down like so, and then for the back one, we may as well do this at the same time. So let's just see, that's 2 away from that. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is come 2 away, bring this all the way out, so it's 1 away from the corners, as you guys can see. The back one is actually pretty simple, but once everything's in place you can do this, but I'm just gonna put 2 on there just like this. Then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go get ourselves out some iron bars. I'm gonna place 2 here, 2 here, just like that. You're gonna see why in a second. We're then gonna be using some trapdoors. Oh, got some. And these guys are just gonna come here, and they're gonna come here, just like so. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually lay some carpet over the top, just to make it look a little bit sleeker, and this is also gonna act as our sofa's armrest. This is actually probably the coolest modern looking sofa design I've ever seen. And it was a collaboration between me and Shiv, using one of his old designs that he made and just kind of jazzing it up a little bit and making it look a little bit cooler. So we're going to do that there, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put down 2 of the snow rails, just connect them up like that, and then simply chop off the back but leave the barriers right there, as you guys can see. And that's how that works. Actually such a cool little sick design. I keep telling people this, but really the BCS pack has just changed well, like the Minecraft building community, I guess, when it comes to modern design. And that's simply down to just the fact that, you know, these rails are just so game changing. The amount of just amazing, cool things that you can do with them is actually absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to be putting down some trapdoors here, putting some carpet over the back, and then what we're going to do is just simply carry the signs around the side and around the back, which just kind of hides this section off, makes it look a little bit cooler, you know. So you're going to want to crouch and make sure you hit the back of them trapdoors. That's how it's going to go down. Bam, like that. And I think, if I'm correct, we've got everything done here. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and please do feel free to check out my playlist on my channel. It's actually on my homepage on YouTube. You can check out my interior design series. So if you're looking for some ideas, maybe you're doing up a modern house and you can't really think of what to do, check them through, because, you know, every week I'm adding more episodes to this series. I've done an office, I've done a bedroom, I've done a kitchen, I've done a bathroom, and today we did the living room. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this series so far. Stay tuned for more awesome videos. Smack it a like if you enjoyed it, and like I said, you know, leave some love for Shiv in the comment section. Couldn't have done it without him. He's a very talented designer. And subscribe as always for new fresh content on the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.